Hi, I'm Stuart from SAP Leadworks. Welcome to the next video. So in today's video, I'm going to be explaining about the equipment needed to weld lead, and also we're going to be doing a hose replacement. So let's get into this. Right, okay, so here we are. So here's my welding equipment that I use here. First and foremost, this kit is called a porter pack. It's relatively small. I would say it's lightweight, but it has got a bit of weight behind it, to be honest with you. Let's start with the cylinders. So this small one here, this is an acetylene, that's the fuel, and this is a K in size. Then we come to the oxygen here, this one is an E. And then from the cylinders, we've got our regulators. This one here is a single stage acetylene regulator, that's 1.5 bar. And this one here is a multi-stage oxygen regulator, that's 0.4 bar. You always want to make sure you get the 0.4 bar and not the 10 bar, because it'd be too much pressure. You don't need multi-stage, but if you can afford it, I would definitely recommend it. Simple reason being, the multi-stage, as the name suggests, it's got two stages. So first of all, you've got all the pressure coming from the cylinder into the regulator, and the first stage, it reduces that pressure. And then the second stage is keeping your consistent, steady flame. Whereas the single stage, it has to do all of that work all in one stage. The multi-stage is also a little bit bigger. Is a single stage version of the same one, and you can just see it's just got a few extra pieces going on round the back there compared to the single one. Single stage is okay, and to be honest with you, I have used single stage for years, but I think eventually what I will do now I've got the multi-stage on the oxygen, I will get a multi-stage on the acetylene as well, because it does make a bit of a difference. And I am currently looking out for one, so when I see one online, I will snap that up. So then from the regulators, we have our flashback arresters, and this is so that if you get any kind of flame, it can't travel back through the hoses and into the cylinders and cause an explosion. So it's definitely worth making sure you've got flashback arresters on there as well. And then from that, I've got a 10-meter hose connected. Don't need a 10-meter hose, but it certainly does make your life so much easier. Sometimes I don't, if I'm working on something low level, I don't even need to carry my bottles up. I can just keep them on the ground, and the hose is long enough to reach. You haven't got to move the bottles around as much. So there's definitely lots of positives to having longer hoses. Probably the only negative I would say is just the faff of winding them up, and obviously it's a bit more weight as well. But I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons on that one. And then from the hoses, I've got a Modulo torch fitted. There's a lot of cheap replicas out there with the Modulo torches, and you can definitely tell that it's not the real McCoy. I've had a number of them in the past, and I think the last one that I had, which wasn't a real Modulo torch, I ended up just throwing in the bin. It was just, oh my god, it was so frustrating. I was trying to get my pressure nice, I had nice and steady. I got the flame exactly where I wanted it, and then when I angled the torch, it just made the flame change. I mean, if you're in a tight area or something, you can't be messing around with your flame. It needs to be nice and steady. So I definitely recommend getting a genuine Modulo torch. And this one I've got on here is a number 3 nipple as well, which is the one that I get on with best. Some other lead workers that I've worked with in the past, they'll use a number 2, but personally I've always gone for a number 3. And then I've just got it all neatly stored in this cage as well, just to keep things nice and tidy. Okay, so also I need to change the hoses on these bottles. Now I've had these hoses, I think, probably for about a year, or maybe just under, around that sort of time, and you can see they are quite tired. can see the oxygen one there. It's got some cracking going on. They do wear quite a lot on that section there. The acetylene one actually went all the way through, and what I actually had to do is I cut the damaged section off. I've done a repair job on that there, but what I think I'm going to do is swap them over anyway, because they are looking a bit tired, and maybe I'll just keep these as a spare. So I've brought some replacement hoses, but I'm not going to lie, I have messed up. I saw these online and I thought they were a good deal. They are 10-meter ones, which is what I was after, but they're actually 10 millimeters. Really only wanted 6. They're way too chunky. They're going to be really awkward to work with, plus there's the extra weight as well, and also the connectors are the wrong size as well. So I've done a fantastic job. So we've got the 3/8, which is what we need, but one end needs to be 1/4 inch, and it's not. It's 3/8 on both ends. So these are going to be no good for me. So I have got some the right size. So I'm going to get them unpacked and get them fitted. Right, okay, so let's have a look at these hoses. Oh my god, I'm going to be such a womble if I've ordered the wrong ones again. Let's have a look at this. Surely I can't make the same mistake twice, can I? Let's have a look at this. Oh no. Right, 10-meter. It says 1/4 inch acetylene fitting. Oh no, I think I'm alright. I think that's the 1/4 inch there, and that should be the 3/4 there. I think I'm alright. And that's the same. Yeah, that looks pretty promising, I'm not going to lie. Right, so that's that one. Let's take a chance, open them both up. Right, so that's that. So what I'm going to do now is just take these old hoses off. Just got a couple of adjustables. I'll tell you what I'll do before I go too far. I'll check the 1/4 inch one to see if that's correct for the Modelo torch. God, that's tight. A bit of gas in there still. Okay, so this one here, because we've got the lines on the nut there, that means it's going to be anti-clockwise. So that's that. I'm just going to check this against this before I go too mad. Yeah, it's perfect. So that's good. Right, so let's take them off here now. Again, I'm just going to use 2 different adjustables. One on the flashback, and just one on there, just so it doesn't turn all that nut round as well. And it still did. I might as well check this nut as well before I undo it all. Yeah, all good. Okay, good. We got there. Let's take this one off. Again, this is going to be anti-clockwise. That's what I'll do. So I'll keep them to one side as a spare. Which we'll do if you start with the oxy. Get a little knife for that. Make sure we don't go through the hose. That'd be a bit gutting, wouldn't it? That one as well. That's that. I think what I'm going to do first is going to connect that to that. Just do that up nice and tight. That's that one. And do the same with the acetylene. One more. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that's what I should have done. That's what I definitely should have done. Right, okay. Let's get that on there. Okay. Do that up nice and tight as well. Right, that's that. Okay, so that's that section. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to join these hoses together with a bit of insulation tape just to keep it all nice and tidy. I think it's going to be easier said than done. Be right when I get the first one round. There we go. I think I'm going to do that sort of like every 450 mil or so. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to, off camera, I'm just going to go through repeating that process. Okay, so I've just finished wrapping the insulation tape around the hoses now, so that's that all done. I've also just connected the Modulo torch on there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to test this just to make sure I haven't got any leaks. And what I've got here, I've got some leak detector fluid. I'm just going to spray this onto these nuts here and onto the gun as well, just to make sure that I've got no leaks from anywhere. Okay, so just check this for any leaks. I'm just going to turn these on, make sure the hoses are closed. God, there's not much oxygen left in there. That hasn't even moved. To get that swapped over. Right, so I'm just going to pressurise these as well. Okay, I'm just going to spray this on there now. Okay, so that one's looking pretty good. Do this one up here as well, in case that moved. Yeah, that one's good. Check the oxygen. That's all looking good. That one there as well. Yeah, there's no leaks on there. Let's check the gun. That's it. I think we're pretty good. Also, another way you can tell if you haven't got any of this leak detector fluid, obviously, if you keep the bottles pressurised, if you then close off the cylinders, see if you've got any leaks, you'll see these gauges going down. That's all looking pretty good. Okay, that's those hoses all swapped over now, so we are done. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You can check me out on Instagram at SAB Leadworks. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hopefully catch you in the next. Cheers.